Hey guys, I'm Nia. Welcome to or back to my channel. For today's video, I'll be teaching you how I edit my YouTube videos. I am not going to waste any more time, so let's get right into the video. You see how much this thing costs. For all of the apps, it costs $53 a month, and just Premiere Pro costs $21 a month. But for me, I am exactly paying $16 a month because I signed up as a student, and that is how I'm paying less. So if you're going to get Premiere Pro and you're a student, I highly recommend you to go through your school. How I transfer footage from my camera to my computer. So how I do that is I use an SD card and an adapter. So they both merge into one big piece, and I take that piece and I plug it into the side of my computer. So when I go into my files, I see the adapter name and I click on the file. When I open it, it has all my footage. I click all the files that I need and I drag them over to another file that I personally made, and now the files are officially onto my computer so I can edit. I'm going to talk about how I do my zoom in. I'm going to just watch this clip and I'm going to stop at the point where I want the zoom to start. So say I wanted the zoom to start at that point. Go over to the timer. I click the position and I click the scale. I play it through again to where I want the zoom to stop. And then I click these keyframes for the position and the scale. Then what I do is I go to the scale and I scale it up to how much I wanted to zoom into my face. So say I wanted to zoom in there. Position, so the one on the right is for up and down, and the one on the left is for like sideways. Watch it through to see what it looks like. That's basically how I do my zoom in. I'm going to talk about how I find my non-copyrighted music, and the music that I've been using in the past of my few videos is actually my friend's music. She makes music and she's so good at it. It's honestly crazy. So make sure you go check out her channel. If you use her music, please give credits because she works very hard and she deserves way more than you just using her music and not giving her credit for it. I'm going to talk about what fonts I use when I edit my video. I'm sorry if I pronounce like any of these names wrong. So most recently I've been using the Veneer Hand ITC, Snap ITC, Sigio Prince, the Magento. Those are like the fonts that I really like. We're going to talk about how I do the words all over the screen. And what I mean by that is when I literally put words all over the screen. Like for example, if I did like, that will be like words all over the screen. And this is a pretty long process, so it takes patience. So these like different controls in the middle right here, you see the T, that's the type tool, and you just click it and you go over to where the video is, you click the left pad and you just drag the box out. I like to put it like full screen. I'm just gonna do a random word like subscribe. Let's use a different font. So how I change my font is I double click and I go over to where the text is. I hit the drop down and you will look for the source text right here. You hit the drop down to font, but a font I like, let's do this one. That's how I get the text on the screen. And since this clip looks way too small, I'm going to go to like this drag right here and I'll go to the end and I'll pull it towards the left side. I need to make this shorter, so I will press C, click, and V. Click on the extra part. Now I press delete. If I wanted to like tilt the word, you'll go over to rotation and go to the left and to change the position. You just change the position like what you do with anything else. Use the position, and you could also use a scale if you want the word to be bigger. And if you want it to be bigger like that. So to add like the more text, I have to click this scene. So I have to click C to use the razor tool, and then I go to the end of where I want the word to stop, click it, and that's where I could do a whole different text. So if I wanted to add a different text, I'll do the same process on the other scene that I did before. So I take the text color is I double click on the word, I'll go over to text drop down, and then you'll go to the fill. You just click whatever color you want, press OK, and it just changes the color of the word. This is what it's looking like. So let me just tell you, it is slow like that. If you want it to be more like then you could crop this time. So you see that like trim little thing that's appearing, you just hold on the keypad and drag it like that. And I'm going to drag this over, and I'm going to do the same thing. So this basically just like repeating over and over again. So since it's shorter, it's going to look like this. It is kind of slow, but it's okay. But that's how I basically put all my words all over the screen. We are going to talk about green screens. So how I get like all my aesthetic green screens is go to YouTube, and we are going to search up for green screen stars aesthetic. And since I'm already screen recording, what you will do on your side is you will screen record the video. So play it enough, and what you will do is stop your screen recording. So when you get your screen recording, you I save it to my files, or like what you will do, you could like email it to yourself, whatever you gotta do to get it onto the software. I have the screen recording in my computer, and I go to where I want it to start. Say I want to start right here. I press I for the program saying that I want that to start. I drag it over to my timeline. This is what it's going to look like, but I will show you how I overcome that. So I want to delete. You go to effects, and you will just click the rotation. You rotate it, that's pretty even, and you will go to scale for it to go full screen like that. To get the green screen part away from the footage, go to the effects, and you will search for ultra key. You will click the ultra key, drag it over to the aesthetic stars timeline, scroll down until you see key color, press this drop, and you drop it onto the background. Now it's looking like that. That's how I do like all my green screens, and that goes for any green screen that I use. We're going to talk about audio effects, and I'm going to show you guys an example. It's the same steps on how I do my green screen. I just search up for funny audio effects off of YouTube. I screen record it and I upload it to my files. I have my audio effect that I want to use on my computer, so I drag it over to my timeline. So I don't want this screen over me, so I'm going to click right on the keypad, unlink, and make sure that it's highlighted on the part that I want it to be deleted, and I just press delete on my keyboard. So that's how that goes away, and you can do that for like audio. That's the idea. That's how I add my sound effects. We are going to talk about spherize. How I do the spherize is I go to effects, and what I do is I search at spherize, and it's right here. I drag it over to my timeline. Let's put it on like one of these. I go to effect controls, I scroll down, and I make the radius bigger. And how I do that is I hold down the keypad and scroll over to the right, and just makes the radius bigger. And to move the radius, the right side is to move it from up to down, the left side is left to right. Let's watch the scene. That's how I do spherize. Now we will talk about how I export my videos to have the best quality. So when you actually export your videos with this app, you need to tell the app where you want your footage to start and end. So you will go to your footage, you press I for it to tell the program to start at that point, and then you go to the end of your footage and press O. How you export your footage to your computer so you can upload it on YouTube. Go to File, Exports, Media, and make sure your format is on H.264. For the preset, I normally do YouTube 1080p, Full HD, or YouTube 4K. And your output name is basically your file name. So you can change that if you want, but I honestly don't change it. So you will go to where it has video right here where I'm circling around. You will scroll down until you see the bitrate settings. I always do 2 pass. For my target bitrate, my maximum bitrate, for my maximum bitrate, I always go up 5. It's gonna be 45. I go on to this bottom section, and the only thing I do is like use maximum render quality, and that's all I do. And I press export. That's all of my YouTube settings. How I add my timestamps is you go to your YouTube studio, go to a video, and say on my last video, let's do that. Go to your description box, and in your description box you see where so these are my timestamps. And how I added this is I pull up the video on a different tab on my computer, and I just watch the video through. For my timestamp, this is literally how you do it. So in this video, my teaser started right when the video started, so I put the time. It started at 0:00, and I put dash teaser. Wherever my intro started is where my teaser ended. I just keep putting where everything starts. And the thing is, if you don't put something else, like if I was to put like teaser and I was to put it as a different time at the end, then it will start later. If you don't put anything else after it, then the time frame will just keep on going. So basically you just put wherever each thing starts, put a description, and YouTube does all the extra stuff for you to actually put it into your video. This is the end of my how I edit video. I hope that this was really helpful and fun to watch. If you have any specific questions, or if you need me to clarify anything, please ask me in the comments down below. Do not forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications to be notified whenever I post a video, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye.